or not to be? That is the question. It is eternal. It is all-consuming, and it is the one I pose to you.
Also, Judith, why do you keep staring off into the distance? And when will this fascination with Shakespeare end? I like the adaptations, The Lion King, 10 Things I Hate About You, and Heather. But you don't just know his plays, you have practically inhaled them.
Lots of people consume literature at a quick pace.
But not all of them are consumed by it. At this point in time, you have probably read his plays more times than he had.
Honestly, that's be true for most people who cherish and read his plays. At least the plays we definitely know of. It's probable that It's probable that he didn't publish his own plays. They were compiled and published posthumously by his fellow actors, John Hemingway and Henry Condell. And a lot of the words you use today are derived from what Shakespeare wrote. Remember that the next time you feel discontent.
Huh, that soliloquy brings one of his phrases to mind. What was it again? Of course, brevity is the soul of wit.
Alack and alas, such sweet poison to have my own love be used against me such? However, I shall not retort to that. I choose rather to kill with kindness.
Touche! I do concede to thee. I concede to you. It does seem rather hard to stop speaking as such, once one had started. There it happens again. It is the rhythm of it all. In the words of another great bard of our time, the rhythm is gonna getcha.
Well, that's the iambic pentameter. The rhythm of his words is that of a heartbeat. He played with a form. He knew his words well, but more so he knew people well. When he wrote, "If music be the food of love, play on." He did create music, and it has played on.
Have you finished it? Have you finished the play? We need to perform it within the span of a month. We are running out of time. So much effort for a man who was possibly a pseudonym for a group of writers.
Well, that is absolutely inconceivable.
More inconceivable still is the fact that we don't have a script.
We do have one.
Is it the Scottish one?
You mean Macbeth?
No, the play isn't one by Shakespeare. It is about Shakespeare. Shakespeare, a holy. To write to celebrate the great writer is terrifying, and though I doubt we can do him justice, what we shall perform will be a tribute to the bard and his works. For now, the world's my oyster.
Who does she keep talking to?
It is as much a mystery to me as you. It's possibly a creative quirk, possibly Hamlet's father. For all we know, it's Mufasa. It seems we have a show to put on. Whatever are we waiting for?
No. We know he was born to John Shakespeare and Mary Arden. Married Annie Hathaway 8 years his elder. He had 3 children, Susanna, Hamlet, and Judith. Queen Elizabeth favored him. He was part of the king's men. We know all the facts about him. What are we trying to understand here isn't the sum total of these facts, or even his life or history. We are not trying to trace England's history or link him to cultural production of that era. But why do we still read his plays? The language is beautiful, but it is a tough mistress. It does not drip off the tongue, does not blend with the phrases of the everyday. His concerns are not our concern, and yet they are, and yet we read them. No. I need to redo the scene.
You need to take a break.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So, is that where you got your name from?
I don't seem to remember Judith in that play.
No, not that.
Then?
After Shakespeare's daughter. Were your parents as enthusiastic about you-know-who as you?
Voldemort.
You are a wizard, Harry.
They appreciated the arts, but I wasn't named Judith after his daughter, but my great aunt. I suppose it couldn't hurt to be named after his daughter. I'd rather be that than his sister.
At the risk of riling you up once more, what is it about Shakespeare than that you're trying to capture? If you don't want the facts, if you aren't doing the plays, what is it?
I suppose it's the essence of it all.
You are going to have to delve into that a little more.
I suppose to an extent, it's the poetry. He strung words together, made them dance on his command, soaring and crashing. They went as the piper commanded. His sonnets are exquisite. They're quick. They're sharp.
They were largely written during the plague when the theatres shut down.
What?
Nothing. What were you saying about the plague? Plays? I meant the plays.
I was saying that they resonate. They have managed to transcend time and space.
Doctor Who would be glad to know that he isn't the only one. Though coming to think of it, they do still find some common ground with life and cinema today. There's the fighting, the romance, and the patriarchy.
It showcases life in all its splendor and glory, and all its muddled mire. Remarkably, most of his plays pass the Bechdel test. Voila, and As You Like It manages to prove her brother held only one advantage over her, being a man in society. This in a time when men played all the roles in a play because women were allowed to watch theatre but not be a part of it.
So in Shakespeare's time, Voila was a man pretending to be a woman, pretending to be a man. When did women start to become a part of the theatre?
Approximately around 1660. Coincidentally, the first recorded female actor in England was Margaret Hughes, who played Desdemona in Thomas Killigrew's production of Othello.
Ah, the handkerchief in tragedy.
I realize most people think of Shakespeare and think of tragic romances. And they are. They're some of the most beautiful, if short romances that have lived on the stage.
Well, Romeo and Juliet did manage to meet, fall in love, get married, try to elope, and die together in the span of 3 days.
Yes, but those 3 days were filled with some of the best lines any 3 days anyone has ever known. The beauty of Shakespeare's words is why his works inspired artists from Dire Straits to Radiohead to Mumford & Sons.
Love ballets?
Not all of them. And further, Romeo and Juliet isn't just a love story. It's about choices and free will, about the individual versus society and politics. The tragedy, to be fair, doesn't lie in their love that cannot be, but the woe of two individuals torn between their duty to the state, the Prince of Verona, to their families, and to themselves. Questions we still face.
Yes, they were just the poster child for average 13 years old. And of course, the state would have a part to play. There were nobles watching Shakespeare, had to include them to ensure they remain interested.
Shakespeare wrote in times of censorship, but he created a space for questioning, for individual thought and expression. King Lear was one of the first plays ever written that questioned whether subjects should remain loyal to a leader who clearly was not making sound decisions. Imagining managing to write that, knowing they could have your head putting that question out of the masses and walking away with a monarch's favor. Genius!
So, we have established he's a genius. We have established he was a ministering angel. He had a heart of gold. He was the hat and the feather in it. Where do we go from here?
Hey, Peter, that's it. See, I've got you. Thanks, Peter. I'm going.
I'll never understand what's that about. I think you were named after the sibling. Hamnet, Hamlet, and everything that's in your mind's eye.
Will this be madness? Yet there is method in it. Anything about Shakespeare life will need more puns. He made Mercutio make one even as he lay dying. gasps and a slow, unsteady breath to say, "Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man."
Really? You make it sound like such a...
Trouble? We are looking at a lot of trouble.
Well, that wasn't exactly the word I would have chosen.
There's going to be trouble with the number of audience members.
I think we should be about to fit them in. The hall is large enough.
It's not the attendance that is the issue, but the lack thereof. There's another theatre company, the Gap.
Who?
Let's not delve into that at the moment. In short, a neighboring theatre company staging a play on Shakespeare the same day, the same time as ours.
What? Why haven't we heard of this before? We've been practicing for a while. The actors have been cast.
It only gets worse. They have cast Mercutio in their production, so we are missing an actor. Always did wonder why his parents named him that.
That is inconsequential. Taking Mercutio as waging a war. Is there nothing to be done?
I suppose Shakespeare had contemporaries too. They can be the Ben Jonson or the Marlowe.
I hate to inform you, but Marlowe was pretty popular in his time.
Well, Shakespeare continues to be popular still. His works got translated into Klingon. Klingon! We can manage opening night, though we can't worry about the competition. There are things to be done. I'm going to go practice lines with Anthony. Lend him my ear.
Live long and prosper.
Christopher, who is that?
I don't know.
Did my heart love till now? For Suya it sighed, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
Really didn't, Romeo. You haven't even met her yet.
I intend to correct that. I must. I burn. I pine. I perish.
I think you are in the wrong place.
In the right time.
You mean right in time. If you hurry that as, we still have a play to stage. Just make sure you make it in time for the performance.
I will. Well, Fate, I do apologize, but this puppet's taking control. Could the stage truly be graced with such art?
Could there be art without an audience?
The commendation is too high. Art thou sure?
Sure as thou art.
It may sound cheesy, but I feel this ease around you that I don't believe I've felt before.
It is cheesy, but so is the fact that I feel the same way, though we haven't even introduced ourselves. Oh, I am...
Julia! Get ready, we have to rehearse.
Peter! We need to run line!
You are from the other theatre company.
Oh, the curtain is set. I must leave. Oh,
Julia, I will see you again.
I wish we could, but I'm to leave for Paris soon. Oh, we could Skype, though. It's not like we live in the 1300s.
I'll find you on Facebook.
Okay, bye. I take back what I said earlier. That's the shortest love story that has even been performed on stage.
This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet.
Oh no, I think he has started quoting Shakespeare too.
Okay, Romeo. Curtain call is soon. The audience is already here. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. I'd like to welcome you all to our play celebrating the life and works of the great writer, William Shakespeare.